Hey dumplings, it's Dave Desai. Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about BTS products and merch being allegedly blocked in the airport in China or on its way to the airport in China. This meaning that BTS will not be able to sell their BTS merch products over in China anymore. Or at least until all this stuff kind of blows over. This is what I've been seeing on the news anyway, and I definitely wanted to talk about it. I have a lot of opinions on this. Now, we also have people believing that Taehyung had called out kind of like a rude fan. So this one is a bit of a lighter tea. We'll get into that. We'll get into both of these here today. So if you're interested in this type of stuff, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and that notification bell to be notified anytime a video drops. And if you're a hater, like to be the first to leave your hate comment, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and that notification bell also so you can be the first to do so. Now let's jump into it. The first thing that I want to talk about is what has been going on with BTS and China. I think for the most part, most people do not care about the controversy between BTS and China. I don't think anyone in the government cares about BTS and China. BTS are artists, each and every one of them. They make music. But then the result of the music and their influence that comes with their music is out of their control, right? They try very hard to stay out of politics. But then when they unintentionally get into politics, they tend to try to apologize and move forward from that. Their messages when they get a political platform or they're in some sort of political event is always to be kind to one another. They definitely don't often try to pick a side or isolate one particular group over another. It's very smart, and I'm sure it's very intentional because they're not politicians. But anyway, if you don't know what's happened within the recent events of what's been going on with BTS in China, basically BTS did a speech for the Van Fleet Award and they mentioned Korean War and the United States because this is what the award was for. RM mentions the sacrifice that many of the men and women made during the Korean War, and then they didn't mention China, who did actually have kind of a significant sacrifice within that war. They lost a lot of people. So of course the Chinese netizens were very upset that China wasn't mentioned in here. Some of the netizens started protesting and ended up canceling their pre-order to BTS's new album. This found its way all the way up to the director of foreign affairs in China. And he basically says that he believes the Chinese netizens were overreacting a little bit. And they all basically should just kind of take a chill pill. Take 5 if you need it. I am paraphrasing, of course. He didn't say those exact words. If you definitely want to hear more about that in detail, I have 2 other videos kind of talking about that, so you can go over my channel and look at that. So things obviously, as you can imagine, got really tense between BTS and China. And then a lot of Chinese media decided to pull their advertisements, i.e. like BTS billboards were pulled, commercials were pulled, and even products off of websites apparently. However, at this point, I believe BTS merch was still allowed to be sold. I'm not sure about that. But more recently, BTS decided to launch their new merch for their new album to kind of go along with it. And the merch is called Be Water. It's basically a water bottle that says Be Water on it. And since their new album is called Be Water just makes sense. At first glance, you might look at this and you'd be like, oh, there's nothing wrong with it. Like, it's the name of the album. It's freaking water. When you're drinking the water, you think about the album. However, in order to explain the controversy, I need to give a little bit of backstory on what has been going on. Apparently, this goes even deeper. China has been at like war, either like a Cold War or an actual war, I'm not sure, with Taiwan and Hong Kong. This is happening for years. I think the majority of the government right now is kind of maybe okay with it. I'm not 100% sure on that. Could definitely be wrong. This war is apparently about Taiwan and Hong Kong wanting to be their own country. But the citizens and the people in China are definitely not okay with it. So much so that if you do mention Taiwan, you can get into big trouble in China. Most people would probably hate you. I have personally never cared that much about it. Like if randomly California says they want to be their own country, I doubt most of Americans would care. Life would be as normal. But obviously this is an extremely sensitive issue over in China. And even the mention of China and Hong Kong is very, very controversial. In fact, I'm a little bit nervous talking about it right now. Now, Hong Kong wants independence from China. And they had a full movement called Be Water. So now BTS's merch is associated with this pro-Hong Kong independence movement. So you can see where this gets a little political, right? China obviously thinks it's not okay to have this type of propaganda in their country. But anyway, the merch got to the airport and allegedly it was blocked and completely stopped at the airport. One Weibo user wrote this: "Notice, the logistics company just made an announcement. Customs are no longer giving clearance to any products that are BTS related. So we're no longer accepting orders for merchandise and albums. We can't order anything that has BTS on the packaging. Customs will not clear them." This means, if true, China will no longer hold any type of relationship to BTS and cannot sell any BTS related items. So I'm assuming China will no longer receive any new stock of BTS items. And obviously not have their album as well. Like completely blacklisted? This is very concerning. And just so sad to hear that there's so much controversy going on. I do think it's a coincidence that Be Water just happens to be a pro-Hong Kong movement. Like their album is called Be and they're selling water. right? A lot of netizens were saying this mixed in with the first controversy that happened, the one with the speech. And since it's 2 controversies in a row, this can no longer be a coincidence. Girl, the first controversy didn't even make sense. It wasn't even a controversy. I definitely wanted to see what others' opinions are on this. One person wrote, "How many times does ARMYs have to stress out that BTS are artists and not politicians? They are selling music with good and deep message, but it's never political. So please stop dragging them into this. They're promoting world peace that could pass on pageants, for goodness sake." This is so true, and it's totally what I said earlier. BTS is just here to make music, and it's not really anything more than that. It's sad to think that music is all they've ever wanted to do, and now they're blocked. Their reach has literally been blocked because people want to tie them up with this controversy. What does a group born in South Korea care about a pro-Hong Kong movement? I don't think they really care. I don't think this was intentional. I would even go as far as to say they probably didn't even know this was happening. I guarantee you the majority of people in America had no idea that Hong Kong and Taiwan wanted to be its own country. It's very weird for people to think that China's problem is like the whole world's problem. And also, if I went to America and I happened to buy a shirt that said "Be Water" because I'm a big fan of water and drinking it, this is true, by the way, I am. And then I just so happen to go to China not knowing it's a political message, would I just get shot on the street? I don't think this is okay. I think it's something that needs to be worked on. And I really hate talking about China like this because it's just gonna make more people hate China. And that's not my goal at all. I don't want that, but I do want things to change and I do want them to do better. There's a lot of stuff going on right now, and it seems like BTS is always in the news lately. I also heard that Taehyung called out like a rude fan, and I wanted to get into what was going on with that because it's quite funny. Now, this was some people saying that the fan was rude. I don't necessarily believe this is the case, but we'll talk about it. Taehyung not too long ago was doing a live stream. My poor babies haven't done a live stream in a minute. So if you are a new ARMY and a more recent ARMY and you were unaware, BTS used to do live streams all the time. They'll either do it together or oftentimes they would do it by themselves, so you would just be talking to the one BTS member. This is usually on the website VLive. I believe most K-pop idols live stream on VLive. And oftentimes you'll have like Jungkook sharing wine with us, Jin doing a little eating show. Then we also have Taehyung, who often comes on too, and he just talks to us. For this particular live stream that we're talking about, he was eating a hamburger with us. He often likes to read what everyone is saying, kind of go through the comments, respond back, and hear ARMY's stories. Oftentimes we like going on these streams to be able to share our stories and to be able to relate and see if Taehyung can relate to what we're going through as well. And you know what? He seems really happy to be able to do it. And sometimes a lot of ARMYs like to get advice from their K-pop idols or whoever. But keep in mind that just because they're famous doesn't mean they know everything. Let's not put that pressure on them. One person wrote in Korean that she was a high school student, and I guess she was going out looking for jobs, and she was doing the whole job interview process. Just by hearing this, you knew this was way before the virus, right? But basically, this girl, this fan, expressed that she was nervous for these interviews, and what would Taehyung do if he was in this position where he was nervous and whatnot. It's interesting because the girl referred to Taehyung as Taehyung, when likely if she is in high school, she's either 18 in America or 19 in Korea, at most. Taehyung expressed that he is 23, and that the fan shouldn't be calling Taehyung by his name Taehyung because he is older than her. What if she's actually the same age? She just got left back a lot of times. Oh my god. I'm kidding. Assuming she is under 18 or 19, you should be saying things like oppa or whatever. It's considered polite. These, I believe, are called honorifics. If that is something completely different, please let me know. But this is extremely important in Korean culture. It's just polite. It's like acknowledgement that this person has a lot of experience, they're older than you. It's kind of like bowing and that sort of thing. So Taehyung was thrown back by the name thing. And he spoke about that before he went on to actually answer the question. I don't think Taehyung particularly thought this was rude. I think he thought it was funny. I also don't think necessarily the girl was trying to be rude, because she could have been from America, in which case in America we don't have things like this. It's definitely more polite here to call people by their name. I mean, other than that, you have "Hey you," which is not polite at all. Taehyung also mentions this in the live stream. He basically says, oh, she could be from America, that's why she didn't say that. So I don't think he got offended either. And I hope the fan didn't feel any type of way by Taehyung saying that. So if you are younger than him and you meet him, oof, you're so lucky, first of all, but make sure you call him oppa. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your thoughts are. Leave it down in the comment section down below. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'm featuring this comment right here. Thank you so much for your comments. As always, I do have a Patreon. If you want to go over there and check out my Patreon, I have a lot of videos over there that I can't necessarily upload on here. Those will be like reaction videos, like music video reactions, performance reactions, ship reactions, also reality TV show reactions, and all that stuff. You can also request things, so make sure you go ahead and check it out. I'll leave a link in the top of the description down below. I can't upload those things here due to like copyright. They get blocked and things like that, so they'll be over there on my Patreon. Also, anything you contribute over there gives back to this channel. I have a video over on Patreon explaining that. With that said, there are 2 videos that will appear on the screen at the end of the video, so click on one of those videos. I'll see you over there. Bye.